Welcome to Tile Choices Podcast, the podcast where tile meets creativity and craftsmanship. Hosted by Bruno and Maria, we're diving into the world of tile, from the latest design trends and must-know installation tips to product insights and real-world experiences. Whether you're a DIYer, interior designer, or seasoned contractor, there's something here for everyone who loves transforming spaces one tile at a time. So grab your coffee, put on your headphones, and let's talk tile. Because at Tile Choices, it's more than a surface, it's a statement.
Ciao tutti, and welcome back to another episode of the Tile Choices podcast. I'm Bruno, your resident Roman tile guy, so excited as always to share a little Italian passion for craftsmanship with you.
And I'm Maria. I've been waiting for this one, Bruno. Water jet tile designs just absolutely fascinate me. The fusion of artistry and high-tech. It's like, how does anyone even invent this? I mean, we're not just talking about complicated patterns you see on a wall, but this new wave of floors and walls where the tile itself turns into artwork, right?
Exactly. And the technology, it's something special. Maybe 5-10 years ago you wanted an intricate inlay. Maybe you'd have to, we say in Italy, stare at the wall for days because someone hand-cut it, little by little. But now, a computer guides a jet of water mixed with these tiny abrasive particles. It slices so perfectly through marble, glass, metal, basically anything you throw at it. It's like a chef with the sharpest knife, only times 1,000.
The precision is wild. And as a designer, the first time I saw a Calicotta marble water jet medallion, I remember this. It was this grand lobby in a Naples hotel. You just stopped in your tracks. The pattern flowed right into the next slab, curves and geometry you could never dream of doing by hand. I know I sound overly poetic, but honestly, it was like standing in the middle of a painting.
Painting, yes. And more builders are using it to break out of the old square and rectangle look, experimenting with movement, with interlocking shapes. Really, the machine does what hands cannot. You see things now in tile work that I'm telling you 10 years ago would have never been possible. The water jet machine, she's a little temperamental, but when she's good, mamma mia, the results.
So today is all about how that beauty happens and what to know if you want to bring some of that wow factor into your own home. Bruno, where do you see water jet tiles really shine these days? Because I keep seeing these epic kitchen backsplashes on Pinterest, but there's so much more, right?
Oh, yes. For me, number one is probably the shower feature wall. People want to walk into the shower, and it feels a bit like walking into an art gallery. Of course, fireplace surrounds, even the floor medallion when you enter a house. Those are the showpieces. You want to make your neighbor jealous? A water jet border in your entryway. It's the ticket. I did one in a Roman villa, turned this plain, boring hallway into like a little museum. The border just, frames everything, gets people talking.
Oh, absolutely. And designers are mixing it up too, like putting Calicotta marble with bits of colored glass or even a metal accent. You end up with something that looks totally custom, like jewelry for your home, but on a wall or floor. It's always about layering those materials for dimension and drama. Kind of funny though, because sometimes homeowners think, oh, I'll just pop this into my powder room, not realizing it's an entirely different world compared to standard subway tiles.
And in the kitchen, backsplash, of course. You get that focus behind the stove, something that everyone notices when they walk in, but it doesn't have to cover an entire wall. Same for fireplace or little strips as a border. It's flexible, but you gotta be smart about where you spend the money, eh?
That's where the magic comes in, isn't it? The accuracy. I was reading the cut can be down to like a few thousandths of an inch, like robotics, but prettier.
Yes, the numbers. We talk about plus or minus 0.005 inches. With traditional saws you get chips, maybe the glaze cracks on delicate tiles. But water jet, it's a cold process. No heat, no burnt edges, nothing fragile breaking apart. That's why you see it used even for glass and stacked tiles. I mean, you can sometimes cut a whole sheet at once, save time and reduce waste.
And the possibilities with design are honestly endless. You can do curves inside of curves, intricate florals, custom logos. Imagine a geometric focal point in a modern living room, maybe abstract waves or something inspired by old Italian patterns, but with a twist. I keep suggesting these geometric water jet medallions to clients who want something a bit edgy because you don't just have to do traditional rosettas anymore. Want a mid-century look? No problem.
Exactly. It's not all swirls and flowers. The point is, you get this unique look, and also the reliability. Even the joints are so tight you'd struggle to do it by hand, eh? When it's done right, it almost looks like the tile grew that way, not like it was assembled.
That's the real upgrade, isn't it? That sophistication, those subtle patterns you can't pull off any other way. It's such a cool era for tile. We talked about global trends not long ago, right? Now even local homes can be a little bit international, a bit bespoke, just by picking the right mosaic.
Here's the but. Let's talk about euros and dollars. Everyone falls in love with the look, but, this is not a cheap date. Between the tile itself, which starts out premium, and the labor, don't forget, the water jet machine, you're talking, 60 to 250,000 for a CNC setup. That impacts the tile price for sure, because the shop has to pay off that machine, eh?
Yes, it adds up fast, and there's always extra material waste built into the cost since the patterns are so intricate, and sometimes you can't just use every scrap. Plus, install labor is a specialty. People who only do subway tile, they're not qualified for this. So the labor cost can honestly be double compared to your more everyday tile installs.
Is it worth it? If you're remodeling a main bathroom, your entry, a kitchen backsplash where everyone's going to see it every day, oh, that's worth it. You get value back every time you look at it. But put it in a laundry room or some hidden corridor, and, maybe you save your budget for a spot where it deserves to be a wow.
Exactly. And sometimes people ask if it adds value to the house, and I'd say yes, but only if it's in a spot buyers care about. If you're selling soon anyway, maybe it's not the best place to splurge.
And look, for rentals or short-term properties, my advice, keep it simple, keep it classic. Save the water jet for when it really counts.
And now, for my favorite part, all the things that can and do go wrong. I love a beautiful tile, but I'll be honest, I love a what not to do story too. Bruno, you must have seen some horror shows?
Oh yes, too many. Number one mistake, bad surface prep. If the wall or the floor isn't perfectly flat and strong, all those perfect patterns, they go wonky. Lippage, shadow lines, places where your toe catches. It's unforgiving, especially with those thin, pointy ends on some designs. Don't skip the prep, or you're guaranteed trouble later.
And picking the wrong installer. People think tile is tile, but water jet mosaics are a totally different sport. You skip a dry layout, you use the wrong adhesive for, say, natural stone, or you just rush. Well, everything falls apart. Even brands say you should ask about specialty experience. There's no faking that kind of precision.
Can I tell a story? My friend called me all upset. She did this dramatic feature wall, wavy water jet sheets, but the installer had never done water jet before. He just went ahead, lined up the first sheet, and then the next didn't match. The whole wave was off. She had to tear it out, order new sheets, start again. Cost her double, and the frustration. Mamma mia.
I've heard that one a few times. So, folks, trust us. Invest in a pro who knows water jet, take your time with the prep and planning, and don't cut corners. Literally. So, let's get real. Should you ever, and I mean ever, DIY water jet tile? I say, maybe only if you're part magician and part engineer, and not afraid of headaches.
I'm with you. These sheets are fragile, like glass cookies. One false move, you break it or ruin the pattern. Even transport and storage is more complicated. Look, if you want to try yourself, you'd better practice on leftovers and, prepare to be humbled.
Here's what every homeowner must ask before even buying. Have you installer done water jet before? Not just tile, but water jet specifically. What's your plan for surface prep? How do you estimate waste? Can I see before and after photos? You want proof, and you want a pro who'll talk through every step, not just charge premium rates.
You want to order 15, even 20% more tile to cover for breakages, color matching, pattern shifts. And inspect every sheet before you set it. Any mismatch, even a slight color difference, you're going to see it forever. Better to check before the tile is stuck to the wall, eh?
It's detail work and patience. That's why it's usually worth saving your big design for a special spot, not the whole room. Make it your statement piece, not an endless repair project. All right, so you've made it through the install. It's gorgeous, and now you want it to actually stay that way. Here's the maintenance rundown. For natural stone mosaics, always seal them, and don't forget to do the grout too, especially in wet areas. You don't want moisture or stains messing up your masterpiece.
The good news is those water jet edges, they almost never need much finishing. The cut is clean, and if you use the right grout, seams will be subtle. But grout and the joints between sheets, you gotta keep them clean. More grout means more maintenance, plain and simple. Don't forget to check for buildup, especially if you have hard water.
Final tip, use water jet tiles as a jewel. You don't need to blanket a whole bathroom, just one accent, and you lift the whole space. Honestly, sometimes less really is more, especially with something this bold.
So that's the world of water jet tiles. Lots of beauty, a bit of headache if you cut corners, but done right, you've got a piece of art built into your home. Maria, as always, a pleasure.
Bruno, grazie mille. Always a joy to share the tile love. And thanks to our listeners for joining us for another episode of Tile Choices. Be sure to subscribe for more stories, tips, and advice on making your space truly stunning. See you next time.
Ciao, ciao, Maria, and goodbye, everyone, until the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to Tile Choices Podcast, your go-to podcast for everything tile. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with your fellow tile lovers. Got questions or a topic you'd like Bruno and Maria to cover? Visit us at tilechoices.com or connect with us on social media. Until next time, keep designing, keep dreaming, and remember, great spaces start from the ground up, one tile at a time.